What's up, everybody? It's Matty, and you can tell I'm at home here. I'm doing a quick intro to this vlog you're about to see. This is my thoughts and opinions on why Genie Plus is one of the worst systems out there, and how they basically gaslight, if you will, people into thinking they're getting some fantastic deal. It goes both ways, as I'm gonna show you in this vlog. Genie Plus is like Vegas. There's some winners and a whole lot of losers. But it's the winners that go into the chats and all the Facebook groups and tell everybody, you know, oh, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. You know, and meanwhile, there's no right or wrong way to do it. A lot of it depends on the type of crowds that are there and, you know, just how people are at getting randomized, you know, rides in that. And it's, my theory is when you have over 100,000, 200,000-300,000 people competing for the same things, you're going to have some winners and a whole lot of losers. It's just like golf. It's that one good shot that keeps you coming back over and over again. And I really feel like the people that designed Genie, they knew this, and they knew how to hit people in the right spot to get that dopamine flowing and have them open up their wallets. I mean, they're really smart when you think about it, but keep in mind, this system used to be free prior to 2020. And for a while, about almost a year and a half, 2 years after opening, we didn't have Genie at all. And no fast or anything in the line. Now granted, the attendance was lower, but it showed you without it, and you don't have those merge points, the lines moved very fast. So as I'm going to point out in this video, it just shows you how they get into your head mentally to make you think that you're doing something better than everybody else, kind of, if you will. Go along on this ride with me. I promise you'll get some entertainment out of it. The other reason I wanted to do this is also to let you know that this is currently June. This was filmed back in, I think it was March or April. It was during the heavy spring break periods. So you can show you how bad this system is when it's busy, which is, you know, unfortunately when most people can travel is usually during the vacation times, you know, where everybody's out of school. 4th of July, October break, Thanksgiving, Christmas, spring break, those big holidays like that. And because that's usually when people are like, I don't understand, the system sucks. And that's when everybody else is like, oh, you did it wrong. They didn't. It's just luck of the draw. But basically, it's a long vlog. It's about an hour, but I promise I will entertain you. But again, I did this to just let you know that you're watching this in June. It was filmed in March or April. That's why there's a time gap, but it just took me a while to put this together because I'm working on a bunch of other projects, and I kind of wanted this to be a little extra special. I wanted to be in depth, which I think it is, but we'll do many more parts. This is actually part one of a few. So this will be Genie Plus sucks, it's the worst service ever, part one, and then we'll have more in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead. So I hope y'all enjoy this. Let me know what you think about it. Like, not like, indifferent, whatever. Leave me a message, comments below. And subscribe to the channel. Let's get that subscription count and like everything. Get that up there. Shove it up the algorithm's ass. We're moving forward fast. I thank you all very much for your support. Let's head out to Magic Kingdom.
Check this out. This is how it all starts. First thing in the morning, Magic Kingdom. Not even in the parking lot. It's your vacation!
Squad 51, stand by for response.
Oh, and I apologize already. There's a spot on my lens here, and I can't get that thing off. I'm trying everything, so if you see a little smudge at times, that's what that is. Don't worry, I'm aware of it and I'm working on it. Sorry if it's annoying. But again, today's theme is why Genie Plus is a crap service. And I'm not just gonna say it's a crap service and not back it up with anything. I have things to back it up, and I'll show you once we get to the Magic Kingdom. Yeah, check this out. It's sold out everywhere except Animal Kingdom and Epcot. Look at this. Wow. at this madness. Yes. Welcome everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. If you can't tell by now in the pre-clips and all that where I'm at, I am at the one, the only Disney World's Magic Kingdom, the most popular park in the world. Subjective maybe, but by statistics, it's the most popular park in the world. It is, without a doubt, spring break. And why am I out here today? Well, one, I want you to get a taste of what this is like in case you decide to maybe attempt this at some point in time. And today's topic, Genie Plus sucks and is absolute garbage. I know that goes against the general narrative of, you know, some of the other channels, you know, like Mammoth Club and Ear Scouts, and they're out there, oh, it's so wonderful. The one thing I want you people to realize, and nothing against them, they do good content, but when they upload those videos, pay attention to the background and what's going on. They do these videos at slower times of the day, or I'm sorry, slower times of the year, and then they'll upload them now and say, oh, look how easy this is. You know, sometimes they'll try it, but if you really pay attention, like there was one that uploaded, it was talking about, oh, look how we're just breezing through Genie Plus and writing everything. Well, it was uploaded in March of this year, but there were Christmas decorations in the background. I'm like, wait a minute. So it's all subjective. You got to really watch what you're watching and really pay attention to stuff, you know. So I'm here today to tell you, I'm going on the opposite side and going to tell you why this is an absolute waste of money. There are already people blowing up social media this morning because they said they feel duped and it was a waste of money. Yeah, that's going to be today's topic. And crowd levels, we're going to walk around, do some sights and sounds, and yeah, show you what it's like being here. This is probably going to be this way for the next week and a half, and then hopefully after that we're going to start easing off spring break. But looking at the calendar, the prices are the utmost expensive right now through next week. Next Sunday, not this Sunday Easter, but the week following, like you're showing Magic Kingdom closing at 9 p.m. and Animal Kingdom closing at 6 p.m. So I'm guessing crowds are due to drop at that point. But like I said earlier, coming in here begs the question, when you see crowds like this, how are people affording this? A serious question. Not meant to be negative, just a serious question. So, with that, let's get our asses in gear. Let's head on inside. Main Street Fire Rescue now in service. I want you to see this. This is on Facebook currently. So this was uploaded to Facebook just a few minutes ago. Paid $170 for Genie Plus. 0 lightning lanes available that we want. The others are short waits for the rides that nobody wants to ride. Waste of money on busy days for Animal Kingdom and Epcot. You're gonna start seeing a lot more of those as the day goes on. Also, I wanted to point out, on my way in here, in the monorail with me was a gigantic family group. There's 14 of them, kind of 14 matching shirts. If they were, just for an example of the cost of this, they were trying to figure out how to book lightning lanes. Oh, hold on, live streamer moment. I'm doing a live streamer moment. Just going to point the camera at a wall for an undisclosed amount of time. They were talking about trying to modify lightning lanes because there's nothing available and they don't know what to do. 14 of them today, they were all adults. So there's their cost today. If they were just doing today, that's with Park Hopper. If they were going to do the lightning lane, the Genie Plus, I can't tally it up right now because there's not available, but it's basically $39 plus tax, which is about $44-ish a person. Multiply that times 14, that's a $600 bill for just a fast pass system that you can't use today. So money well spent. So between the $3,600 and the $600 that they spent, that's a $4,200 day. And it's 10:39, 10:40 in the morning. Now, I get it when you have these big groups. Most likely people pay their own way, but still, it just shows you the sheer amount of money that goes into coming to this place. So one thing I did also is I put in a mobile order for some breakfast this morning, because I'm going to show you why that's extremely important. I point this out all the time, but for whatever reason, people still don't do it. And people are asking, will it be crowded next week? Well, as the saying goes, there's a bear shit in the woods. So my plan is once my food is ready, we're going to sit down in my usual spot, and then we're going to talk about why this service is
freaking pathetic when it's this busy. As I said, everybody's blowing up social media this morning. It's a waste of money. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. At $40, a service like that needs to be, when it was $15, it was like, okay, it's not the greatest system in the world, but at $15, yeah, maybe. Still used to be free, though. And it was a better system when it was free. Now, you've got to think, at $40 a person, you not only get to make one at a time, but then if your ride time is further than 2 hours out, you have to wait 2 hours before another selection. They said it's not designed for people to get the most out of it. The house wins every time. It's like Vegas. Oh, and the wait times right now are astronomical. And please try not to take this too seriously. Like the Genie Plus of it, I am being serious with because it is a ripoff. But the rest of it, I'm just out having some fun today. So I'm over by Sleepy Hollow. This is why you mobile order. Check this out. The first thing I'll say, that especially when it's busy, that you notice when it's really busy like this, everybody's on their phones scrolling looking for lightning lanes. So that's your vacation, just walking around, just doing this all day, looking for lightning lanes. And they call this on some of these channels, oh, we need to play the Genie slots. Great. So I spend almost, no, actually over $200 if I'm here for a day or a couple days. Almost $200 a day, and then an extra $40 on top of that per person to sit there and scroll on your phone all day. Sounds like a great deal. Well, boys, even the mobile order's sucking ass today.
All right, well, while we're waiting for breakfast, I thought we'd get started on this whole Genie Plus thing. And yeah, why it sucks. That's what I said, it sucks. All right, when it was a $15 service, it wasn't the greatest, but you could still do some things with it. You know, if the parks weren't insane, you know, you could ride a decent amount of rides still with it. But with it, the way they're doing it now, the problem is the more expensive it gets, the lesser of a value it is, because you can't use it for everything that you would want. Meaning, when it was $15, you know, you'd have to get like 8 or 9 rides in to have it break down to basically be under $1 a ride. Now, with it being $40, you've got to get to like, what, 18 plus rides for it to basically be worth your money. And when it's like this, you're not going to ride 18 rides. I'm not just being realistic. It's not going to happen. So, and still a lot of people have attached themselves onto this comment where, well, apparently also Slinky, there's a bunch of rides closed at Hollywood Studios currently, so people are melting down over that. And then the person that talked about being ripped off with Genie today after spending $170, there's over 123 comments on that, and a lot of people, they said, somebody put in here, I overheard a family yesterday say this at Animal Kingdom. They were so frustrated and felt bad for their waste of money. I mean, people, this is what it is. I mean, when it's like this, you're not gaining much, and this is where I'm going to put the burden of proof right here. So there's current situation. Epcot, Animal Kingdom, the only ones left, and at $32 and $29 respectively, that is not worth it for those parks at all. Keep in mind, $29 not that long ago was the price for the overall Genie Plus package. So Animal Kingdom has about 5 or 6 rides that you might be able to use that for. Not worth it. So here's why this doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now. So Barnstormer, 50 minutes, right? So basically, you're gonna wait, and for every minute you wait is how long you ride. 50 minutes for a 50-second ride. But you can reserve a lightning lane at 1:10 p.m. All right, well, it's currently 11:15. What is 50 minutes from now? What, 12:10? So why would you book that to have to wait till 1:10 when you might as well just wait in line now and ride it in 50 minutes? You see, do I make sense, or am I like talking out my ass? Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Okay, 50-minute standby time. It's 11:16. Let's say 11:15. All right. 50-minute ride. If you wait in line for that, that means you would ride by 12:05, 12:10.
Take the track.
You can reserve a time at 7:15 tonight. That's 8 hours from now. So again, why would you do that to wait the 8 hours when you just stand in line the 50 minutes now? Now, I can understand the argument a little bit. People say, oh, well, I'll just, stack lightning lanes, because that's the other thing. We'll stack it and we'll come back and ride tonight. You can do that, but then what are you doing with the rest of your day? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be riding now, or you can ride later. It's pay now, pay later. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, 35 minutes, okay? 35 minutes from now is going to put you about 5 minutes to 12. 1:15, okay? And see, the other problem is these lightning lanes, the way their times are set up, if you were to reserve this one, Big Thunder Mountain, or even Barnstormer, you have got a 2-hour window that you have to wait before you can reserve a next one. The only time when you don't wait is when you basically, like, if I made one right now and it was like, so it's 11:17, let's say there was one for 11:20, and I made the reservation and I went and scanned in. Once I did that, then I can reserve another one. But unless there's a ride that you can immediately go to, it doesn't work. You gotta wait to 2 hours. Mobile order, they said. It would be faster, they said. Yeah. Disregard that. Holy crap, what an adventure. I mean, just to get that. The problem is, my theory is the same every time. The people that show up during spring break, especially, and some Christmas, are people that don't really come here often, because nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Like, they're literally just like, you got people that have ordered from the regular window that are standing in front of the mobile order pickup window, and you got people whose mobile orders aren't ready yet standing in line trying to pick up mobile orders. It's confusing as shit. So yeah, that's the one thing you got to remember when you're here during this time. Most of the time you're going to be here with people who have no idea what's going on here. And hey, we've all had day one here, so got to cut people some slack. But also, I feel like the communication needs to be better on Disney's end and getting people into the right place as well. Just checking out my dismal experience, and Slingy Dog Dash has been down since this morning, which then that leads to things like this. 200-minute wait times on Smuggler's Run. Now what I might do is I might jettison over there later on and show you how to ride that real quick without waiting 200 minutes. But back to why Genie Plus was a piss poor service. Again, for 40 bucks it is. For 15, it was okay. But basically, if they're going to move it into the $40 and up category, they need to start letting people, one, make unlimited ride selections. Like, if you, let's say, ride Space Mountain and really enjoyed it, then you should be able to make another one. But you can't do that. You can only ride it one time. The only way to ride it twice in a day is you'd have to do the standby and then a lightning lane. Or if it was not busy, you could do multiple standbys. But that's the only way. So back to what I was saying earlier, okay, like even Dumbo the Flying Elephant ride, okay? It's a 50-minute wait, which from right now, it's 11:30. 50 minutes from now takes us to 12:20. You could make a Disney Genie Plus for 12:25. What's the point in that? Just wait, that's 55 minutes. Enchanted Tales with Belle, which is a pretty cool interactive attraction. Standby line's 40 minutes. So again, take you to about 10 after 12. Make a Genie Plus at 3:30. Why not just wait the 40 minutes? See, between now and 3:30, how many rides could you get in if you were just doing standby? So 40. So between now and 3:30, let's just say that's 12:30, 1:32. That's 4 hours. So if you did Enchanted Tales with Belle was 40, Dumbo's 50, there's 90. Okay. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, there's 45. Now you're up to about 120. Big Thunder, that's 7. Basically, you can do 4 rides in that time, 4 or 5 rides. So, like I said, am I talking out my ass here, or does this make any sense to anybody? Magic Carpets of Aladdin, 30-minute standby. Okay, 1250 Genie Plus. That's an hour and 10 minutes from now, 15 minutes. Winnie the Pooh, 40 minutes standby. That takes you to same about 12:10, 2:35. 3 hours from now. You know, and so the other thing, what they were saying too, is people, oh, we'll stack lightning lanes. Okay, yeah, you can stack them at the end of the day. You can absolutely do that. But like I said, you're going to be waiting the whole day before you start your lightning lanes at 5, 6, 7 p.m. this evening. So yes, you're going to go through the lines a little bit quicker, but you'll have wasted your whole day doing nothing, or not being in the parks. It's like Space Mountain. Okay, 105 minutes. That's about basically almost 2 hours from now. So 11:36, 12:36, 1:36. You'd be riding it roughly. We can book it at 7:05 tonight, which is 8 hours from now. How many rides could you get in 8 hours if you just went and buckled down and knuckled under and did it? All of Tron is sold out. I said people are paying $20 each for a minute 10-second ride on that one. Because Tron's not included in the overall package, so the $40 that you're spending does not include Tron. Okay, that's a whole nother thing. So if you don't get a virtual queue, then you're gonna have to pay a $20 bill per person if you want to skip the line on that. Or basically, it's not skipping the line. You're basically just in another standby that moves quicker. How's that? There's another one, Under the Sea, Journey of Little Mermaid. 50 minutes standby, okay? 11:40, 50 minutes from now is 12:30. Disney Genie Plus Lightning Lane, 12:30. It's a wash. Doesn't matter. It's a washout. So that's why I say the service absolutely sucks, because you're not gaining anything by it, I may have to sit down and think, like, in 8 hours, like a Space Mountain, that would be an 8-hour wait between now and then, or just wait the 2 hours. But again, how many rides could you do if you just waited in line for 8 hours? It's basically, they're using your brain against you. It's a kind of like the bait and the switch, if you will, or the what is it? Like an illusion, like a magic trick. It's an illusion to make you think that you're skipping the lines, but you're not really skipping the lines. You're just in another form of standby that moves faster. Genie Plus is the original standby. In fact, that's what we experienced during COVID, because when the parks were open, there was no lightning lane, there was no fast pass, it was all standby. And as the parks got busier, they still kept the standby. Lightning lane wasn't introduced to like a year and a half after the parks opened. Even on the busiest of days, the standby lines never got past 35, 40 minutes because there was no merge point. Genie Plus is the reason why standby gets to be so bad. That's, if you took that out of the equation, because people are like, oh, the wait times would be 400 minutes. No, they wouldn't, because one, Disney has high capacity rides. If they would utilize them like they're supposed to be utilized, which they're not, which is a whole nother thing, because if you go, like, for example, I guarantee if you walked into Space Mountain right now, they're not using all of their gates. They can load 6 cars at a time, basically 3 cars on both sides. But they're only doing 2 on each side, which that means there's 2 gates that are not being used, which then takes into the equation of the ridership, which drops the ridership. Basically what they're doing is they're utilizing Disney is cutting capacity on a lot of these rides. And I wish I could have ridden Tron this morning, because what they do, even with Tron, is the first hour and a half it's open, Tron has 2 sides that you can board on. They spend the first hour and a half of the day only boarding one side, backs the line up, which then makes buying the lightning lane more of a priority because it backs the standby up. Or the virtual queue standby. Same with Space Mountain. They have two boarding gates in there that they don't use. They haven't used them since the parks reopened. I guarantee if we walked in there right now, you'd see 2 gates not being used. Jungle Cruise, same thing. They don't have nearly as many boats in the water. Pirates of the Caribbean was like an absolute monster with capacity. But it's the same thing. They don't have as many boats in the water, which cuts down on capacity, lengthens ride times. makes it more of a it hits your psyche. It makes you want to buy Genie Plus. And the other thing is, there's not as much to do in the parks anymore as there used to be. That's what everything. Oh, the parks seem more crowded. They're not really. There's just not as much to do. Like, if you really look at it, a lot has been taken away over the years. Look at Epcot. Look at all the stuff that disappeared out of Epcot. Wonders of Life is gone. Even when that pavilion was open during the festivals, there were still things to do in there. So that's out of the equation. They tore down all of Innoventions West, which had stuff to do inside there. Innoventions East used to have the same thing. There were things to do in there. You know, as time has gone on, there's been fewer and fewer and fewer offerings, which is leading to more and more crowds because there's not enough things for people to do. And I'd like to credit with the channel That Park Place and Walt Disney World Pro, WDW Pro, who first brought this to light. As I started listening to it, I'm like, that makes a whole lot of sense. It really does. Same with Animal Kingdom. There's like 5 or 6 attractions you can do at Animal Kingdom. There's shows, but there's nothing else for people to do. There's no nighttime show. There's nothing to absorb the crowds. Same with Hollywood Studios. We lost, they never brought back the Star Wars Galactic Spectacular, the fireworks show at night. Star Wars Weekends never came back. All this stuff that never came back, which again is less offerings, which makes the parks more crowded. Am I starting to make sense now? Not talking so much like bullshit? Am I right? Am I right? All right, let's get moving again.
Check this out. This is Cinderella's Royal Table parking garage. But see, am I the only one? Well, we've had other people point this out. Before the parks closed in 2020, back when FastPass was a thing, even on the busiest of days, I never remember this happening where the lines continuously spilled outside of the attractions like this. I don't remember seeing it. Any of you remember seeing it? Leave me a message in the comments if you've been here prior to 2020. You remember lines spilling out like that? I don't remember it.
Howdy, folks. If you're just joining us, a hearty welcome aboard. We're heading for our next stop, Fantasyland. Friends, children of all ages, we're coming down the track and headed straight for the stupendous, the sensational, the spectacularific Fantasyland Storybook Circus. This is the place to soar with Dumbo or join Goofy in his stunt plane for some airborne acrobatics.
That Valentine sure was funny. Glad you liked it. It says, choo choo choose me. And there's a picture of a train. Yeah, nice gag.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder whoever did that sign right there, if they weren't a Simpsons fan. I just saw that, like, choo choo. Wait a minute. That reminds me of the Valentine's episode. Had to put that in there, you know? So there's a family of 7 green shirts that just walked past me that all scanned into the lightning lane. It says $20 today. 20 times 7 times our taxes. $150 for a ride that's 1 minute 10 seconds. Some people say I see the value in that. I struggle with it. And that's not because I live here. That's a big amount of money. So I'm coming down off the Tron flyway to fly over here. There's a child having an absolute meltdown. And when the child was asked what was wrong, they said they were sweating. And then I started thinking to myself, I said, self, how comfortable of a society and a soft society do we live in where now you can have a meltdown because you're sweaty? In Florida! What is going on? Jeez, people, toughen up a bit. Look at this. This is the Space Mountain line. Holy smokes. Let's do a quick Genie Plus update. Let's see if there's anything available. Holy smokes. So when you see this on the Genie Plus, like where it says not currently offered, that means it's sold out for the day. Magic Carpets is closed. Yeah, like Jungle Cruise is all done for the day. Now they say you can basically refresh, but it's not going to work. It's too many people here for that. That's one of the other tips and tricks. Oh, just keep refreshing, meaning you have to be constantly staring at your phone refreshing. If it's not too crazy, you might find another one. But the other issue is you could refresh and then it might show up, but then you've selected it and it's automatically gone because somebody else got to it a split second before you did. Peter Pan, same thing, not currently offered, sold out. Seven Dwarfs, that's an extra charge, sold out. Space Mountain's getting close. The next one is 8:45. Tomorrowland Speedway, that's not terrible. Tron, same thing, sold out. I have Group 83, but I'm not going to be here to ride it later on. The only other one is Under the Sea with Little Mermaid, 40-minute standby, or ride it at 1:50 p.m., which is more than 40 minutes from now. So it just doesn't make sense to buy it. It really doesn't. People think they're getting this great deal because of how it's perceived. Same thing in Las Vegas. Vegas doesn't look like it does because people win at the casinos all the time. Disney mastered the art of perception. Just like with the Smellitzers and everything else they have, they really managed to get deep into people's brains with this Genie Plus and make them think that they're getting some great deal when they're really not. They're really not.
Greetings, intergalactic travelers.
Alien Swirling Sauces is 100 minutes. I almost want to drive over there and see what that looks like. Jeez. Imagine waiting 100 minutes to ride that ass. Holy cow. 115 minutes for Runaway Railway. Millennium Falcon, 165 minutes. Because Slinky Dog's down. Slinky Dog, the way it's going, might not reopen. Star Tours is 55 minutes. Rise of the Resistance, 130 minutes. Toy Story, 80. Tower of Terror, 105. Wow. Welcome to your vacation. $200 plus a day for that kind of an experience. That's cool. Oh, and Rise of the Resistance lightning lanes are sold out. That was also an individual lightning lane. $25 each today. I think we're going to work our way over to studios and just check that out.
I'm looking around going, am I the only one that's fucking hot? Is it me? What's wrong with you people? Now they say it's the happiest place on earth, but I say nay nay.
Good timing, good timing. Onward to studios. All right, so on the walk to the car, I finally figured it out, like how to explain this in a way that kind of makes sense with Genie Plus. I was talking earlier how they create the illusion that you're actually getting something more, but you're not really getting something more. And the best way, I was thinking about it on the monorail, and the best way I can explain it is just like with all these, rides that don't have Genie Plus till later on today. Yes, you can make that lightning lane, but you're still waiting. You're waiting 8 hours. You're not waiting 2 hours in a queue. You're waiting 8 hours doing something else, whether it be on your phone, whether it be taking a nap at the resort, whether it be doing something else. You're still waiting, but they give you the illusion that you're not waiting because when 8 p.m. finally comes around tonight, you scan in and just walk right in. Well, kind of. There's still a line. So it really is. It's an illusion done very, very brilliantly by people that are paid a lot of money to do marketing. That's how it's done. You're not gaining anything at all. In fact, even if you stack lightning lanes, people do, I got a great stack. They'll stack 5 of them for later on in the day. Okay, cool. What are you doing the first 8 hours? You're still waiting, aren't you? You're just waiting in a different form. You're waiting by watching TV. You're waiting by maybe sitting at the pool. You're waiting by shopping. You're just not waiting in a queue line, which is right there. Put people in a queue line, they freak out. Hour and a half wait, holy shit, I can't do that. 8 hours? Lightning lane, you got it. I'll do that all day. That's like saying, you know, I'm ordering a pizza and I'm not that hungry, so I'll cut it in 4 slices instead of 8. Right? Same thing. It's the same freaking thing.
Hi, Coach Dale, Coach Richard, welcome to Butler Fieldhouse. Your practice schedule is from 10 to 12. The game will be at 7 o'clock. If you need anything, why just let me know. Kind of off the record, I think this is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to Indiana basketball, so we're all behind you. Good luck and paramount. Right? Good luck, guys.
How far?
10 feet.
10 feet. I think you'll find it's exact same measurements as our gym back at Hickory.
Here we are. Let's see what this looks like inside. I've never seen a 100-minute wait for swirling saucers. Look at that. If you think about it, the majority of these people are here have paid at least one of those numbers. So if you ever wondered what a 75 to 100-minute wait for swirling saucers looks like, there you go. I will tell you, that is a very hot queue to wait in. And it's a warm day today. For a late March day, it's pretty warm. It's every bit of close to 90 degrees today.
Greetings, Space Rangers.
Everybody on their phones. Just look around. Look how many people are on their phones. The only question is, they're all saying the same thing. There's nothing available. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we can do. 170 minutes. So we're talking 3 hours. All right. Single rider. Let's see what we can do as single rider. Okay, so 120, yeah, that's 3 hours. 3 hours! Let's see what we got. Most people go that way. Go this way. Look at, I can't believe people don't utilize this. I really cannot believe it. And what blows my mind, if they can use it on this ride, why the heck don't they have it on Ratatouille? Look, there's nobody here.
And another single rider.
Right.
Come going.
170 minutes took less than 2 minutes.
You're back. I did not think I would see you again after the incident. You're braver than I thought. You will be intercepting a first-order trading shipment of coaxium. Gunners, you clear the path.
Sentados y cuide a los niños. Gracias.
All right.
Seatbelts are next to your seat back.
Flight engineer, prepare this. Hit your flashing buttons.
All right, we gotta repair shit that they break. Oh, here we go. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh my God, that's a big ship.
Weapons are online.
Ah! That's a big rock. That's a big rock.
Now let's go get that.
All right, let's go do this.
Made the jump to light speed.
All right. Yeah, let's clear the way.
Fire the missiles at the train. Hurry.
Oh my God.
The Star Destroyer is collapsing.
Oh my God. Ah! Oh God.
Let's get out of here.
Oh boy! Look out!
We'll retrieve 2 containers of coaxium.
Nice.
This would greatly help the resistance. You have heard the First Order and made Chewie proud.
That was awesome. We did good.
All available techs, we have a Corellian freighter that needs immediate transport back to maintenance bay. This thing's seen better days. Better fix all that before the Wookiee sees it.
So in that time, I've ridden this thing twice. Just like that. Single rider, man. It's the way to do it. Well, one thing I can't help but notice is when you look at kids that are on their phones all the time, which is sad here because, like, why would you want to be staring at a phone all the time when you've got all this stuff to look at? But if you look at them, because they have their head down so often and their posture sucks, they're actually starting to get bone spurs, like back here on the back of their neck. If you look at a lot of kids, young kids, look at the back of their necks and you can actually see, like, they got little bumps back here where by constantly having their head forward, it's causing early deformities. Yeah. Tell me cell phones aren't awful for us. One of the other things that really hurts capacity at this time of year, especially with spring break, is when Rock and Roller Coaster's not working and it's been down since January. That's a big crowd. It brings big crowds, which there's not, when you take that out of the equation, that's what leads to all this. 90 minutes. I still think it's bullshit that they closed Rock and Roller Coaster down. I mean, it was literally just closed for almost 7 months last year. I mean, what are they doing? All right, so this is what people are referring to with this. This is what people talk about when it's busy. So, start at Alien Swirling Saucers. You can ride at 7:30 or wait 55 minutes, but when you get to the other attractions, all right? Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, not offered, means it's sold out for the day. Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, not offered, sold out for the day. We can get one from Muppet Vision though. Slinky Dog Dash, not offered, sold out for the day. Star Tours, you can get one for $3.20 or just wait the 45 minutes. Rise of the Resistance, 95 minutes, not offered, sold out. Toy Story Mania, sold out. Tower of Terror, sold out. Now keep in mind, it's a $40 a person service that you basically can't use right now. You can try to refresh and refresh and refresh. Now you're gonna be tied to your phone all day, maybe on the hopes that one pops up. But again, even if it pops up, you still may not get it because somebody else may have gotten to it a split second faster than you did. I've had that happen where, oh look, a Slinky Dog popped up and you hit it. This is no longer available. It's a great system. As long as people keep paying these crazy ass prices for this thing, it's never gonna go away. If people would literally take a month off from this and just everybody did standby, one, the lines would go a lot quicker than most people think, and two, that service would either go back to being free or it'd come way down in price. Well, that was fun this morning and early afternoon. I hope this Genie Plus thing makes sense for everybody. I really do, because like, I start wondering, am I the only one that sees it like this? Or, you know, so many people, I feel like I said earlier, they get people on, it's on the smoke and mirror thing. They really think they're getting this great deal, but you're really not. It's only good for when it's not that busy. Honestly, it's just you. But it's all about perception. That's it. It's all perception. So remember what I was saying about first timers were the majority of the people here? Here's another rant on the Facebook Disney World Tips and Tricks. So this first timer event, we left our hotel, Pop Century, and instead of waiting for the Skyliner to open at 7:30, early entry time at Epcot, we paid $40 for the minivan, got to Epcot, and security said they weren't ready at 7:30, then got into Epcot to wait in 2 lines until 8:30, when we were able to actually rush to rope drop Frozen. Oh, they rush dropped Frozen, the ride. What's the point of paying $500 a night for early entry to the parks when I'm still waiting over an hour to even get in to run to a ride? This will be our first and last trip to Disney. I'm seeing more and more and more of these, and of course, there's 222 comments. What's interesting though is let people speak, because the moderators of this group, there's 222 comments, but when you want to read them, they took the post down. Like, honestly, it's okay. It's okay for people to speak negatively sometimes. I mean, this is an experience. Think about it, 500 a night. If they're staying for the full week, like most people are, times 7 days, $3,500 plus tax, not including park tickets and anything else. I mean, holy shit, you should, I mean, I would be upset too. But seeing lots more posts like this is becoming more and more common. But see, even with this one, with the comment about the wait time, if you go into comments, they turned off the commenting. This is the thing, and this is why I have to go to this platform to talk about this stuff, because otherwise they either cut your comments off or they ban you. Like, oh, pixie dust only, everything's got to be good. And as I've said before, I have no problem with saying something is awesome. I really don't. In fact, I would rather do that than talk about, like, man, this really sucks. But you have to be able to do it from both sides. You know, and even like today, walking around the parks, I could see where people would be like, well, Matt, why are you in there bitching all the time? Why don't you, you know, just stop going? I mean, it's a valid point. Why don't I stop going? Well, because I enjoy coming out the parks, but I also think that it's important for people to see this through the lens of a different point of view as well. You know, not everything is, you know, pixie dust, rainbows, and fairy tales here. When you're dealing with parks that are pretty much close to, you know, what would be considered capacity, to the point where they stop selling their express pass type things, the Genie Pluses, because it's sold out, you know, what kind of experience is that going to bring you? I think people should know. And then let people make their own decisions. Obviously, you know, I don't want people having dogma for this either, which is, dogma is living with the results of other people's thinking. You know, come and, you know, watch my channel, watch other people's channels, and form your own opinion. But I think it should be noted from both sides as to, you know, I will call it awesome when I see it, if I feel like it is. And believe me, there's been plenty of times where I've seen things at Disney and been like, that's freaking awesome. But right now, for what they're charging people and the overall experience, it's pretty shitty right now. I mean, straight up. The only way to do this and enjoy it is, like I said earlier, forget about Genie Plus, forget about trying to cram rides in. You just have to show up in the morning, do what you can, wait in line. While you're waiting in line, have some conversation with your family, just enjoy time together. Ride the ride, go to the next one, grab something to eat, then go back to your hotel, relax, and then come back in the evening and do a few more rides, and then do a nighttime show. That's the way to do it. Or skip the nighttime show and then take advantage of doing the rides. That's the other way of doing it. But these people trying to cram Genie Plus, and everybody, I know what they're thinking. Oh, I've watched all the YouTubes. I've watched Mammoth Club. I've watched Ear Scouts. I've watched all of them. I'm loaded with knowledge. I'm gonna go and ride 25 rides at Disney World using Genie Plus during spring break. Wrong. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. The other thing that you got to realize is, when those people are doing that, it's most likely just them doing it. So one person versus a family of 3, 4, or more trying to reserve lighting lanes, a whole different situation. Just saying. And again, I'm not speaking bad about these channels. I'm not. Everybody has their own creative ways of doing things. But all I'm saying is, they do it in a way to make it look like this can be done all the time, and it just can't. It's not realistic. It's done for clicks, it's done for views, and the few people that get it to work, like, oh, see, I did it. Yeah, well, when were you there? Well, I was there the week after Marathon Week when there was nobody. Of course you can do a lot then. You know, it's all about perception, and it's all about timing. You're not going to show up during spring break and do 25 rides. You're just not going to do it. Even the best of the best can't do it. You know, I would love to try it, but I can't give Disney $40 for that service, even to try it. I don't want to do it.
Back home again. I hope you got something out of this vlog today. Again, it's not, I didn't do it more or less to say, don't go out and do this, okay? I wanted a different perspective. I want people to see this from both ends, basically saying that, you know, on one side you have everybody going, this is the greatest thing ever, but then there's very few people saying, hey, why don't we look at it from this perspective, right? I mean, am I right? I just feel like with the, especially with the Disney vlogging and that, man, it is all, like, there's no, very rarely do you hear people speak out against something. It's all about how perfect everything is, which, you know, it can be at times, but this is not one of those times, you know. I feel like perfection in that was prior to 2020, you know, and it pains me at times to see people in the vlog, or not the vlogs, but the, like, Facebook and that, where they're, you know, well, this is a one and done. We spent all this money and we got nothing out of it. And again, yes, you can look at all the vlogs, you can do all the research, you can do everything, but if it is a time like now, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You literally, like I told somebody that was, hold on. Like I told somebody that was coming next week, you know, they just put it in the chat. And they're like, well, this is our only trip, so we need to do everything. What are some tips? And I said, first off, no tips, no nothing. What you need to do is make a list of the top 8 things you really want to do. Take that list, cut it in half, find out which are the 4 most important and which are the 4 second important. And then do the most important ones first, and then if there's time left, do the second half of that list. And if you have time left after that, make another list of only 2 this time, and split that in half, most important, second important. And if you get those done, make another list of 2, and do it that way. But all these people thinking that they're just going to stack up 25 lightning lanes, it's not going to work. And even still, you know, at the current pricing, even 8 to 10 lightning lanes is still not that great a deal when you're talking about a $40 cost per person. You know, it's not, at $15 it was, you know, okay, 15 bucks. But now at 40 and above, you know, it's $39. It's 40 bucks. It's 39 plus tax. It's like 42 and some change. You know, it's not going to be long before we're staring $50 down. I promise you, it's coming. It's coming. People keep buying this thing, but yet they buy it, and then in the same time they bitch about it because it's, you know, they feel like they got ripped off. Well, like I said before, there's one way to stop all this madness, and that's to quit buying it. Do your own research. You know, if you still feel that it's best for you, then do what's best for you. You know, I'm not here to say don't spend the money. I'm just telling you, be cautious if you're going to spend that money, because what some of these people that do, what some of these people do on their vlogs is very, very deceiving to what might happen on a day like today. You know, and again, if they're uploading stuff now talking about how they're riding 20 plus rides with Genie Plus, take a look at the backgrounds. You know, if you see Christmas wreaths or pumpkins or whatever on the lampposts at Magic Kingdom, or even the merch, if you see, you know, other merch that doesn't correlate with the current season, you know, they filmed it at a different time. Like I said, that one guy, you know, uploaded a Genie Plus just like last week, and I'm looking in the background, there's freaking Christmas wreaths up. Well, wait a minute here. But people, I don't think they see that. So, you know, again, use your own judgment. Thank you all for coming with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave some comments in the comment section below. Whether you liked it, hated it, tell me to get bent, do whatever you got to do. But looking for some engagement. Thank you for very much the likes. Thank you very much for the likes. Subscribe to the channel. Let's shove it up that algorithm's ass, and so we can get out there and get our name up into the top. Because I think, you know, this is a hard spot to get into, because one, I'm going outside of the... I'm the lion that's kind of straying out from everything, you know. Everybody's like doing the same thing. I'm kind of going, you know, out this way. Have a fantastic evening. Main Street Fire Rescue out of service. I'll see everybody. Man, am I glad I got home when I did. Look at this. This is the one thing about Florida. Okay, front yard. Okay, look at this. Look at that backyard. Holy moly, that looks ugly. Wow. Look at that. That looks ugly, man. Holy smokes. Yeah, I'm glad I pulled the car in.